visiting from Utah. He was one of the owners. Took me to a farmer's place. And I saw him. I said, shake my hand. And then somehow she got to talking. Well,
October 5th, 2023. This is the regular meeting of the City of Menifee's Park Recreation and Trails Commission. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. And roll call. Will the clerk please do roll call?
Chair Ackerman,
Here.
Vice Chair Faust,
Here.
Commissioner Bowen, Commissioner Bangle,
Here.
Commissioner Peterson.
Here. I'd like to ask Commissioner Fouts to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise. Ready, begin. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Item number 4, presentation, Youth Leaders of Menifee introductions. I'd just like to say you guys got great T-shirts. All right.
Yes,
Mr.
Chair
Nix.
Ackerman, thank you for that. We have our youth leaders of Menifee. We're going to introduce them all. So I'm going to turn it over to Michael Reinhardt and Lady Aguilera, who oversee the Youth Leaders Program.
All right, yeah, thank you, John. So today we have our Youth Leaders of Menifee newly appointed for the new school year. So we're excited to start another year of Youth Leaders of Menifee. Those of you that are familiar, they do a lot of great things in the community, but we'll tell you a little bit about what they do today. So my name is Michael Reinhardt. If I haven't met you yet, I'm the Community Services Coordinator for the City of Menifee. I oversee youth programming from tiny tots through high school students. So Youth Leaders is one of the programs that I oversee, and it's one of my most favorite to see these high school students that are so dedicated to serving their community and just to watch them grow from the start of the year or even from freshman year to senior year. So it's really awesome. So I'll let Letty introduce herself too.
Hello, I'm Letty Alegria. I am a community service specialist with the city, so I work directly under Mikey. Same thing, we overseeing the youth programs and also our inclusive recreation program, Mighty Me, for our special needs individuals. And same thing, I love working with the teens. I get to see them grow throughout the year and become into amazing public speakers. So I'm excited to present them to you guys.
All right, I think we have a couple slides just with some info on the youth leaders. If we could jump to the next. Oh, perfect. There's our logo. Awesome logo on the t-shirts. And then if we jump, there we go. All right, so who are they? These, in order to join Youth Leaders of Menifee, there's simple requirements. You have to be a high school student that either lives or attends school in Menifee. They're motivated high school students who are looking to make a positive difference in their community. So we created this program to be super flexible for our high school students. That way we can get as many teens involved in the community as possible. So we really focused on flexibility this year. Right now we have over 120 high school students that have joined for the school year. And the students you see here, we have 11 officers. We have some of them here today that were able to make it. They took an extra step in applying for an officer position. So they actually applied, went through an interview process, and were selected out of those that interviewed to take extra leadership responsibilities within Youth Leaders of Menifee. And then we'll go to the next slide.
So a little bit of what they do, they are the voice of the youth in the community. They're the ones that let us know what's needed, what they want to implement, what they want to change in the community, and we're here to kind of guide them and provide resources for them. So, for example, they can implement events and activities for the youth. They also help in a ton of organizations. So we have organizations that reach out to us in need of volunteers, and they're there, the first line to help out. They've volunteered at our own city events, so a lot of the manpower comes from our volunteers. And then they also get valuable training opportunities. So we tell them to treat this like they would professionally a job, so they get a lot of leadership skills, a lot of job training skills. Throughout the meetings, they have professional development workshops, so they learn some sort of topic about professional development at each of their meetings.
All right, so we are going to have the youth leaders that are here today. They're going to come up and introduce themselves so you get to know them a little bit more, because you will see their faces a lot throughout city events and at our program. So we will invite all of you guys up and you will introduce yourselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaden Medina, and I am a senior here at Plymouth Valley High School. Now, for my YLM team, I'm part of the team. I'm a team mentor lead for the for one of the 3 teams here at YLM. And believe it or not, this is actually my first year in the Youth Leaders of Menifee, so I'm glad to start off start making up some leadership skills and just really putting myself out there, especially in Menifee.
Hello, my name is AJ Rodriguez. I'm junior at Paloma Valley High School, youth mentor lead, and I've been in youth leaders for 3 years.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cecilia Montes. I am a junior at Liberty High School, and the team I am involved in is the Teen Activities team. And the amount of years at Youth Leaders Menifee, I have 3 years, so it's an honor to be back at this wonderful team. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Perla Sanchez. I am a senior at Paloma Valley High School. I am also part of the youth team, so everything that has to deal with the kids. And this is my 3rd year in the Youth Leaders of Menifee. I love it, so I'm excited to spend my senior year here.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Alexander Casillas, and I'm currently a junior at Liberty High School. I am currently the vice president for this year's term in YLM, and I have been in YLM since freshman year, with being the teen activities team lead for for my first year, which was freshman year, and last year. I'll give you a little rundown for YLM. I know Mikey and Letty were talking about it, but YLM is Menifee's very own youth community service program with members from every part of the city. Our goal is to inspire, educate, and influence the Menifee community through the youth's mind. And later in the city council meeting in November, we'll touch on the theme for this year and all the other information about YLM. But we have 3 teams, which is the youth team, which specializes in the youth, elementary, middle school age groups, and the teen teams, which is for the high school groups. And the green team, Focalist, is more like an environmentalist issues and aspects of the city. And so, thank you.
So yeah, we do have 11 officers. So these are the ones that were able to make it today. But if we, Eliza is our president, and then these are the remaining members that we have for this term. So like I said, you're going to see them a lot at our city events and programs, like they have been. So we're excited for all that's to come for this school year. So if you have any questions on Youth Leaders of Menifee, we're happy to answer them for you.
Commissioners, any questions or comments?
No
Commissioner
questions,
Faust?
but just thank you for serving the community and representing the youth of Menifee. It's outstanding.
Yeah, just I want you guys to know that I've got 5 children, 8 and under, and for every single one of them, what I want them to do and what I want them to do in their own accord is exactly what you guys are doing. I think it's amazing, and you are great role models, and I really appreciate that.
Anybody else? I just want to comment that I saw you guys at the interview process and I'm very impressed with all of you, and good luck this year, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we'll be moving on to agenda item number 5, approval of minutes, the September 7th Park Rushing Trail Commission regular minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes?
Move approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And the minutes are approved as presented. Item number 6, agenda approval or modifications. Are there any agenda approval or modifications?
No modifications.
Okay. Moving on to item 7, public comments, non-agenda items only. Are there any public comments?
No public comments.
All right. I see item 8, discussion items. There are none. So we're going to move on to item 9, Community Services Department comments. Mr. Nix.
Actually, Chair Ackerman, I see a couple other people walking into the meeting. I don't know if you want to maybe go back to public comments, and also there's a few people sitting here in the audience. Just wanted to check if everyone wanted to make a public comment. Okay. I just wanted to check if anyone in attendance wanted to make a public comment to address the commission. Okay. Okay. So then I just want to make sure everyone had the opportunity since you took
Yes.
the time to come down. So.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll continue with item 9.1, Community Service Director comments. At last night's city council meeting, there was a request for a future agenda update regarding what's going on with Valleywide. There's been a lot of social media, a lot of things going on in the press about Valleywide raising their fees, and I think that was brought up during our last commission meeting, specifically their fees for the youth sports leagues, and how that seems to be a tremendous impact to the programming and cost directly to those participants. So the city council is going to bring back an agenda item. There is an ad hoc committee that exists within the city council that was established last year. It's Mayor and Councilmember Sobek, who were attempting to meet with hopefully an ad hoc committee of Valleywide's board to come to some kind of hopefully joint resolution on moving towards a detachment. Detachment means that Valleywide would move all of their park system within Menifee into the city's park system. So that takes quite a bit of a process. We have to go through the county, LAFCO, local agency formation commission, and it's quite a bit of a process. So there was a request from City Council last night to get an update from the ad hoc committee. So that's going to be scheduled pretty soon, and probably within the next month at City Council. So I wanted to provide that update that topic did come up last night at City Council. Any questions from the commission on that? And then, nope, okay. Also, I just wanted to, the press release came out earlier this week. We have a new chief financial officer, Travis Hickey. He is starting with the city in a couple weeks on October 16th. I was very fortunate to be part of the recruitment and interview process, wearing my other hat with the city. So very qualified gentleman, a lot of experience working as a auditor of actually government firms and cities, and then moving into working for the city of Santa Fe Springs for several years. I also went to Santa Fe High School way back in the day, so I'm very familiar with his city that he's currently working at and all the dynamic things he's able to do there. So really glad to have Travis join the Menifee team and start in a few weeks. Then also for the commission, if you guys know anybody or any members of the public out there, we're hiring right now. So we have some part-time positions for community service leader and maintenance attendants for our parks and facilities. So if anybody knows anybody that wants to work for the city, this is a very great opportunity to get in at an entry-level job, learn some skills, and definitely if somebody wanted a second job perhaps, and work part-time for us, these are available. They're open right now on our city website. So those are the updates I have.
Okay, thank you. 9.2, Parks and Progress update.
All right. Good evening, Commission. Not much has changed from last time, so I took out a few slides on here, but Banner Village Park is still in the 90-day maintenance now. It is open to the public, so the developer is the one who opened that park, so they're maintaining that right now, and for another month, and then the city will take over maintenance. But so that it's used heavily. The little splash pad, mini splash pad there is used every day, so it's pretty cool. Courts Ranch still in the 90-day maintenance period. We have a few more weeks of that, and that'll open up to the public. That's another great park. And then I miscolor this. And then the Sun City Green Space, the pre-design is going on with that. So we've we've sent out to our on-call architect list that we have for the actual design for that park. So we're doing negotiations for that, and then once we get that going, we'll bring that forward so the commission has say and helps with developing that park that we're doing there. Legato, Cimarron Ridge, Catalina, Menifee Valley, those are not just individual parks that are on there, those are just developments that are coming with multiple parks in there. So but that's where they are in the city on here. So just wanted to, so you guys know where those developments are coming, where there's larger parks. Multiple of these will have larger sports parks, and then just also pocket parks, paseos, things like that, trails just for the community to use, as well as that development. And that's all I have for Parks and Progress, if you guys have any questions.
Commissioner Faust.
Yeah, hi. Just thanks, Bryce. At Banner Park, is a splash pad operating now?
Yes, it is.
And how long will we operate it?
So
given it was 98
it's been
today.
warm, especially since today was 94, so we'll close it down once it actually starts cooling down a little bit. So a lot of times it might get closed in October. Right now it's still pretty warm, so let's use it. That's the way I'm looking at it. So it might be a couple more weeks, and then we'll close that down. So.
Okay. And Legato's design will stay pretty much the same, even though the builder may change
So
out there?
what it is they piece out the design will stay 100% the same. So it doesn't matter what development's in there. So they'll have, this is an example, they would have Pulte or KB Homes, they're different sections of those will be by the developer, but the whole development will stay the same.
Any other comments or questions?
One last one. Since we're 90-day on these parks then, on Banner and Courts Ranch, dedication ceremonies?
We're definitely going to work those into some events. It's more of a soft opening right now that we've had for Banner Park. So once it warms back up, I think that one will end up being probably a larger event in the springtime. So that way we could use the splash pad. I don't think anybody wants to run through there in January or something like that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Howell. 9.3, solid waste and recycling update.
Good evening. So a few updates for the month of September. It was a pretty busy month for solid waste recycling programs or Menifee Recycles programs. We did a booth at Foodie Friday at the beginning of the month. We also, it's technically this month, but I'd like to highlight it because yesterday was California Clean. Sorry. Oh, I don't know who's doing it. Okay. There we go. Okay.
Stop it, Peter.
It goes. Okay, so yesterday was California Clean Air Day, which is a statewide event which organizations and municipalities and individuals across the state participate in, and they basically dedicate activities and pledge to conduct behavior that helps to reduce emissions and promote active lifestyle. So we did a really fun employee event, which I'll show some pictures of, and that just took place yesterday in Central Park. Another event we had was the bulky item drop-off. We estimated 250 attendees. Again, this event was our first mulch giveaway, so most of the mulch was taken, so that's a really good sign for us that there is the need in the community for that. And so we will be incorporating mulch giveaways at future events, at least 1 to 2 future events a year. Our diversion counts for this month. We routed 18 illegal dumping requests, and that's for bulky item requests. And then we also collected, in addition to the bulky item event and our regular litter abatement program, almost 40 tons of waste. And 15 or almost 16 tons of that was diverted from the landfill. So good numbers. And then as far as administrative updates, we have our truck in. We worked with our fleet team and the vendor to get the truck wrapped. And so we are almost ready to hand the keys over to the Menifee Valley Community Covered and get that truck into operation. It will be on display at the Fall Festival. And I believe we're doing a ribbon cutting of some sort, so we'll have more information on that. And yes, next slide is just photos from our events, and then a picture of the truck, and then some of the staff that participated in the Employee Olympics event that happened yesterday for Clean Air Day. And so we hope to build on that each year and make it a bigger and bigger internal employee event.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? I know the Community Covered is very happy to see that truck. Thank you for that. 9.4, Recreation Division update.
All right, so into some of the fun stuff. We've got our monthly numbers, and I'm proud to see that we're in our first quarter and already meeting some of our revenue projections for our registration for a number of our classes, activities, and our programs. So again, some of the things that continue to excel are things like our contract class program, thanks to the administrative team and Corey and her staff that have been promoting some of our new programs. We have a new singing class that we're excited to offer, as well as additional programs that take place after hours at the Case Sinacero Senior Center. So lots of good things happening at as far as our programs and participation numbers. For the Recreation Division, I know there's a lot of information on this slide, so I'm not going to go through every single item. I'm just going to highlight a few things from each of the areas. As you know, the Case and Acera Center is a wealth of knowledge and resources for our senior community. And so there's a number of workshops that we'd like to highlight, ranging from, diabetes talk to how to stay sharp and active as we continue to age healthily. And so one of the things I want to be able to highlight on here, actually, I don't think it made it on this slide, but we do have our monthly food box distribution that's going to be taking place on October 19th, as well as some fun things like costume bingo at the end of the month. And then recently added, we do have a senior scam workshop that's going to be taking place. I want to say it's October 17th. Unfortunately, it didn't make it to the slide, but it is from 1 to 3 o'clock at the Case and Acera Senior Center, and it's a really good opportunity because it's bringing together a panel of experts, both local from Menifee PD as well as from Riverside County and the DA's office. So trying to give our seniors the most up-to-date information on some of the things that they can be easily targeted, and just making sure that the information is out there and readily available. Coming into our sports and healthy Menifee programming, our flag football team is league is currently underway. Games are taking place Thursdays and Saturdays, so we're excited to have that going. But one thing I want to make sure is that even though we've started our flag football, we are currently actively registering for our basketball league. So it's a very popular league. This year we're trying something a little bit new because we'd like to know exactly how many of our youth we can serve. So we're doing an early bird registration for the month of October, with registration to close in December. So it's about a $10 discount if you register early. So that way we can allocate teams, do all the skills assessments, and then have games hosted at Santa Rosa Academy in the winter. So again, that's a really popular program. We encourage anybody who's interested to register early. And last but not least, we have our Lazy Creek Recreation Center youth programs underway. You guys all saw, you are the youth leaders of Menifee earlier today. They've got a number of workshops happening. We do have a fall mini camp for parents who may be working during the time periods when school is out of session next week for the 12th and the 13th. So if that's something that you know of a parent who's looking for that extra help while they're working, Lazy Creek is here to help. So that is available, and all of this information is available on the city website, cityofmenifee.us/register, which is where you can register for these programs, or you can navigate through the different locations. So that's my recreation division update. If there aren't any questions, I can move on to special events. Our tennis would fall under our contract class program. So, yeah. So as far as tennis is a contract instructor program, so that would be through our contract class program, and that's available seasonally. I think because we're heading into the winter season, that's on hiatus right now, but that is something that's going to be coming back in the spring.
Mr. Chair, point of order, please.
Yeah, we had a chance for public comments earlier. Okay. Thank you very much. And moving on to 9.5, special events update.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so special events, so the fall is a kickoff of a very busy season for us in community services. Want to make sure that the public is aware that the Haunt Your House public display decoration contest is now open. So anybody who is interested and would like to display their house or be considered for any one of these number of prizes for the various categories, the registration is now open on our city website. You could either use the QR code on our flyer or go down or register online at our city website, cityofmenifee.us/special events. And they often, for the winners for the Haunt Your House, do get recognition both through our social media, online on our website, and we actually end up putting all of the locations, all of the entries on a GIS map that we make available to local residents so they can kind of drive through the city and see what's available within the local neighborhoods. This Saturday, we have our electric car show and clean air expo that's going to be taking place from 9 to 12 at MSJC. There's going to be a number of fun, free activities focused on clean air and sustainability and going going green. And so there will also be a number of displays of electric cars, bikes, scooters, and things of that nature, as well as some fun entertainment and activities. So we encourage anybody who's interested in learning a little more about how to go green, come on out and join us at MSJC. Then we also have on October 19th, which is a Thursday, the Menifee's State of the City address, as well as the Menifee's 15th birthday celebration. So for this one, it is a combination of a number of things. So being currently the VIP Taste of Menifee has been sold out, so unfortunately tickets to that are not available. That was a paid portion of the program, but the State of the City address starts at 6:30, which will be taking place in the stadium. So state-of-the-art, brand new stadium. It's amazing to see what they've done with that. And immediately following the State of the City address, Community Services is going to be hosting an after party. So with the birthday celebration at 8 p.m. until 10 o'clock. Number of food vendors, will be having giveaways. I heard rumors of a t-shirt cannon. And Neon Nation, which is an 80s band, will be playing. So it's going to be a great time, a great way to celebrate Menifee's 15th birthday. And that's not it. We still have a few more. We've got our annual Fall Festival. It's taking place on Saturday, 21st at MSJC from 4 to 8 p.m. This event just tends to keep growing year after year with a number of components and opportunities for residents to participate in a number of different activities. This year, we are actually expanding it by working with the Sun City Cruisers and hosting an additional trunk or treat that's going to be out there, as well as continuing our partnership with the Alternatives for Domestic Violence and taking in donations, either personal care items or monetary donations in lieu of charging for access to the fun zone. So anybody interested in wanting to donate or participate in the fun zone is encouraged to bring a donation with them. And then, of course, we've got our annual costume contest from all ages. We even do a pet costume contest, family costume contest, things of that nature, number of art and craft vendors, and entertainment. So it's going to be a great day. Continuing the City of Menifee's birthday bash. And then that very next weekend, on the October the 28th, we have our Day of the Dead event from 4 to 8 p.m. again at MSJC. Traditionally, this event had been hosted at Central Park. However, we've outgrown that location, which is great news because, again, I feel like we're bringing cultural programs to our community. It's very well attended. Things ranging from live entertainment, food and craft vendors, Katrina contest, which is kind of like a costume contest, and then also giving the opportunity for the cultural awareness of remembering those that have gone before us, the community altars, and partnering with our local schools that'll be represented at this event as well. So again, it's going to be a really great event, and we hope that anybody who's interested can come out there and join us. And I believe that concludes my report for recreation and special events.
Commissioners?
Just one.
Commissioner Faust?
At the Day of the Dead, the fun zone for kids, how will that be? Will that be a ticketed thing, or will it be a donation thing?
Right now, it's going to be free to anybody in attendance. This is our first time actually having a fun zone dedicated because we just didn't have the space for it previously. So right now, it's kind of open to anybody who's in attendance.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, commissioners? Man, we got a busy month ahead. Moving on to 9.6, Capital Improvement Program Update.
Okay, so few updates that completed. So the Laladair retrofit, the actual that is now on recycled water. So the retrofit portion of that is complete. The meter was installed, and parks now help us save some money there when we're watering that park. ELP Peterson, that parking lot was resurfaced a couple months ago. And then also I forgot to put on here the John Denver pickleball. So there's a new pickleball court at John Denver Park too. So hopefully that's just one more pickleball for people to use, especially in the neighborhood there. It was a good park to be able to put that in. Audie Murphy, the ticket booth and ranger station. So that's in the design/plan review. So we have the utilities being designed. The building itself is a prefabricated, so it's just in the plan check on that. And then we're getting the utilities. The utilities are on site still, but it's still, we just have to have the plans where we're going to connect to those. Going forward on a few of these, like the Gale Webb restroom, the Laladair park enhancements. There's a few of these projects says fall about springtime it's going to start, or maybe in the winter or spring. So we have a new the capital improvement program that department that's there, they have a new project manager that's coming on that's going to help us with some of these projects. As you can see, that's a lot of projects that we have going on that are on here. So once that person gets on, they're going to actually help our department a little bit and get some of those larger projects moving so we can concentrate on that. ELP Peterson, that park, the dog park expansion, I'll start that design and the project on that here in the next 30 days probably, and then we'll start the construction right away after that. There's also the street median, that's the last section that's on Cherry Hills, right in front of the golf course. That still needs to be, it's just DG right now, so we are out to bid with one of our landscape architects that are gonna design and have anything that'll be a maintenance-free, water-free, kind of landscape that's in there. So, and then the Sun City Park Development, like I mentioned earlier, that one's out to bid for design, and we're negotiating on that. But there's lots of projects, as you can see, that we got going on this year. If you have any questions on these, I can sure to answer them for you.
Can you put that slide back up, please? So starting with the park amphitheater, are you able to share what occurred today with the bids, Jonathan or Bryce?
Oh, they're still under review.
Can you wink if we have a good bid?
We got the vet amount still.
Okay.
I don't want to announce anything, especially since we had to bid it a second time, so.
Understand.
Yeah.
On the Salt Creek Trail improvements, do we have a target date for delivery?
We're just wrapping up the feasibility study. I'll let Mariana, she's been running this one. I've been helping her with that, but she's been doing a great job on this, but.
Yeah, so we are wrapping up the draft of the feasibility study, working with Dock and Engineering, and we're anticipating on getting a draft in our hands for review mid to end October, and then kind of vetting that out, and then we're still on track for a presentation to PRTC at the December meeting.
And then lastly, Sun City Park Development, did you include design charrettes in the RFP? How many? How many design charrettes?
I believe it was 3. I'll have to look. I think it was 3.
And will they take place specifically in Sun City?
Those parts, yes.
Yeah, we're
And
actually, I'm sorry, Bryce,
ahead.
interrupt. Yeah, we Faith Lutheran Church actually offered to host it right there. So people could be right there at the
Wonderful.
church and even possibly walk right out and look at the space. Yeah.
Thank you.
Commissioner Faust.
Yes, which parks are targeted for the park lighting capital improvement?
So that'll be Kai Thomas, and then we're working for the Gale Webb pump track.
Oh, Gale Webb. Oh,
Yes.
And
And that'll just be on the pump track, not the bike trails, but it'll be on the
on-
pump
on
track
the
section.
paved- the
Correct,
paved
yeah.
section, okay. And then, what are we looking at doing at Salt Creek Trail?
So-
as far as enhancement?
The study, it would be, what it is going from Antelope to Menifee Road. So the section that goes behind by Aldergate Park and through behind the Oasis over there. So it
Okay.
would be just a connection, a
Okay,
parking
it's-
lot and a
that's-
connection
okay.
for that next phase to get
now I
to, through
recall. Thank
the
you.
city, yeah.
Thank you.
And we're looking at doing the asphalt, same type of trail, so it just matches everything goes there. The feasibility will have it has a few different options of the route that it would take that's going behind there and things like that. And they're just different costs and stuff like that.
Anything else? Okay, moving on to 9.7, Maintenance Division Report.
Okay, in the month of September, we had 73 submitted work orders for facilities. 66 of those are completed. We had 181 submitted for the parks right-of-ways. 160 of those were completed. We had 23 that were submitted by residents, and now it still says 21 pending. There's only 8. A lot of those got closed out in the last couple days. We were waiting on different material and things that come in. So again, I really try to get the public to put anything in because it helps us. There's more eyes out there, especially if something happens. We're at another park, they're able to tell us that, so we can get those right away. We had 261 park visits, and then 16 volunteers. That is just for our Adopt a Park program. This Saturday is the first Saturday every month. It's also the dig session for the pump track where we have people volunteer, and then they get entered into a raffle for a bike 4 times a year. Menifee Bicycles has donated 4 bikes, so they will draw that winner, and that's how you get into that raffle, is volunteering at the pump track, so they can either some weeding or helping keep up on the dirt jumps, anything just to keep that. But that is going on this Saturday as well. But a lot of those volunteers are there, and then a couple of other parks like Silver Star Park. There's a family that adopted that. They go there once or twice a month, so it's starting to build up with we can get more volunteers, and they're there on their own, and it's good for the community. And that's all I have for the maintenance division, if you guys have any questions.
Commissioner Faust.
I gotta have a question. The submitted by residents,
Yes.
is that mostly through the app? Are people
Those
using
are
the
all,
app?
so mostly through the app. Some of them are the residents will call into as well to our office or to City Hall, and we put it through the app with their contact information. So that way we have their most of the time, unless they don't want to give that. So that way if we can either get a phone call back to them if we need to, or just complete it, and they'll get the email on there that it was completed.
Okay, and the next one is the resin fencing, you know, the kind of the western fencing that we have in a lot of the tracks, especially throughout Audie Murphy. Is the city stocked on sections to replace those?
So
or is
Audie
that an
Murphy-
HOA thing, or it depends on which
Depending
section?
on what phase of Audie Murphy there was. So around when the park was developed, that was a vinyl fencing. We don't use that anymore. What we use is HDPE. It's a recycled plastic. It's real thick. It's actually a horse fencing, so kids can't break it. Cars can still break it. But so those, and it's a little harder to get some of that material. We will be replacing the vinyl fencing. We've tried. That's what we don't use it. It becomes brittle and everything. Everything that we've had stocked up is just, it's been sitting around for years, so now we got to order more, and it's hard to match that color. So Audie Murphy, we've been removing some of that section, but that's just real brittle, and people just keep breaking that. But yes, we do have stockpile of some of the material.
And we're removing it with the intent to replace it?
To
with the
replace,
new-
correct,
the new
yes.
stuff. Okay, for consistency. Thank you.
Comment on the maintenance request. I did do that, use the app, and it's great. They send you an email that they received it, and I just got an email that it was completed, so.
Awesome.
Great thing. Okay, item 10, commissioner reports on community activities. Commissioners, any reports? Okay. I did attend the Menifee Complete Streets walk audit on September 12th at City Hall. We took a little walk, and then we had a team meeting number 2 at 11 a.m. after that, so very informative. Item 11, future agenda requests. Evaluate proposals for permanent city holiday tree. Mr. Nix.
Yes, we don't have an update on that yet. We're trying to get through this current holiday. And so we'll probably bring that back at the first part of next calendar year.
Okay, and with that, item 12. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr.
Am I able to request some items that may be discussed in a future meeting?
Yes, this would be the opportunity at this point in the agenda for a commissioner to request a future agenda item. The protocol, just to remind all the commissioners, is you would make the request, and this is also the same protocol the city council follows. You need a second. So if you recommend an item, say I want to see an update on XYZ, one of the other commissioners has to give you a second to put it on the future agenda list.
Okay. If it's not an update, if it's something new?
Yeah, that's why we would do it
Got
on a future agenda, yep.
Got it,
Yeah.
okay. May I speak?
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so I've actually got a few items here. Some of them are they're the origin of them comes from the Valleywide parks. In the meantime, I know that that the council is they've got their ad hoc committee and they're working towards a resolution of some sort. But one of the things that would be very beneficial for somebody like myself would be an online access to see what the field availability is and who's got it reserved, or if it's reserved, it doesn't have to say who's reserved it, but. And I'm not saying that there's disputes, but it would be very easy to have on, let's say you just go to the City of Menifee website and show somebody that, hey, look, this is reserved for soccer today, or this is reserved for football, between 5 to 8. And that way, you don't have any disputes going on. That would also apply to, gazebos, canopies, the whole nine, just so that people have that being aware. It doesn't have to waste city time if there's a dispute, or if it's on a Sunday morning and the city's not available. That's one thing that I kind of would like to either learn more about or maybe we can discuss.
So make a motion and then we'll second it? Is that?
Would you like to make a motion, Commissioner Peterson?
Yes, please. Motion.
Second.
Okay.
Thank you. I've also got, as far as Valleywide goes, I've been kind of thinking about it. We've been receiving emails from many of our, our citizens regarding some of these, the fees and whatnot. If it's possible for the city to essentially become the intermediary or the liaison between Menifee citizens to their reservations or their maintenance requests or service requests or complaints, and then we as the city approach Valleywide and we make deals for the reservations, or we make, we actually make the formal request for a service or maintenance, and then we actually have control over and can track these items. If I understand correctly, we actually don't have the ability to access all the information that, for our citizens for these parks. Is that correct?
That is correct. I don't think that is something that would be appropriate for the city to take on. It'd be similar to, because Valleywide is its own kind of governing agency. They're a special district, very similar to like a school district. So that would be like something, if there were issues maintenance issues at all the schools, for everyone to contact the city, to contact the school to fix it. That would not really be appropriate for us to tell the schools how to fix their things. So it's very similar to that. Also, there would be quite a bit of a staff burden for us to, as you can see, Mr. Howe reports, are hundreds of work orders that we're closing out and dealing with on our own, but then to also track theirs and have to respond, either through their app or phone calls. We don't have that kind of staffing to do that. And it would also create additional, maybe even a barrier for folks. If they have to contact us, then we contact Valleywide versus contacting Valleywide directly. As far as responsiveness, I think you can hear from Mr. Howe that we try to be as responsive as possible. I'm not sure exactly how they handle it over there.
Okay. And then I guess instead of that, is there a way that we can discuss having Valleywide report every month so that we understand what's going on at least? As far as their service tickets or field reservations, or just for an understanding about, because it almost seems like the Valleywide parks, it's a dark zone. We don't have any visibility into that. And for our citizens, I think, I don't like answering them and saying, hey, well, I don't know. It's a little, it's a little bit.
I can't require them to report to us as much as I can't require the city of Marietta to report things to us. So because they're their own district, their own agency. So we have in the past asked for information like that from the city specifically. And there's a thing called the Public Records Act, where government agencies and quasi-government agencies like Valleywide are required to report things if they're public record. So the city's gone as far as to do that and not receive formal responses or complete responses in the past. And that's from a formal PRA request from the city or even from the city attorney. So we can't require them to report back things to us.
Okay, so it just is what it is, essentially.
Yeah, well, we definitely encourage any residents that have issues regarding Valleywide, whether it be maintenance or response, to definitely contact them directly. And if they need help with that contact information or phone numbers or emails, I'm more than happy to provide that for them.
Got it. Okay. And I have one final item here. Actually, well, kind of two. The ad hoc committee that the mayor and council member Sobek are attending next Tuesday, that's not the Parks Make Life Better ad hoc community, correct?
No, that's separate, yeah.
Okay, so we don't need any representation at their ad hoc community?
No.
Okay, got it. All right, so last, do we handle homeless services?
That's handled through the police department.
Police department, okay.
Yeah. There's a homeless liaison officer that specifically works with Riverside University Health. We partner with them to provide outreach and behavioral health services, counseling, resources, housing, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so if I wanted to discuss something about that, would I go through who?
I can connect you, but that wouldn't be under the purview of this commission.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Peterson. Commissioner Bowen.
I also had just a similar question. Well, not similar, but it's more in regards to our high schoolers and their I guess, lack of transportation or mode of transportation when getting to school. I know I sat in a city hall meeting where at one point, I guess one of the students had gotten hit by a car when walking to school or biking to school. And I know it's been kind of same situation with Heritage, and I was informed that the school buses, for some odd reason, does not operate for Heritage High School, which I know is completely separate from what we oversee or what we do. But has there been any evaluation as far as like walking paths for the youth who are, you know, assigned to schools, and like their ability and safety when walking from like their community to get to the school, like trails and sidewalks? Because that's been a big theme that I've been hearing lately. It's like, oh, there's not enough sidewalks or safe trails for the kids to take when walking to school. And I'm not sure if that's something that as a city we're evaluating or not.
Partially within the purview of this commission because we oversee trails, but I'll just provide a general update. As far as busing and transportation to and from school for students, that is specifically under the school district. As far as like safe routes to schools and walking paths, you know, Commissioner Ackerman even just mentioned earlier participating in a workshop for that, you know, and looking at different paths. So our Public Works Department, our Public Works Director / City Engineer, Nick Fiddler, is very wonderful. He's been meeting with the school districts on those particular things and looking at segments and filling gaps. One such gap was a segment of Normandy Road where we added a trail so they can traverse from Normandy Road to the new Catherine Newport Middle School. So we do look at those things. We do coordinate with the school districts. We had actually a summit with all the school districts a few weeks ago to talk about safety and safe paths. So although busing and transportation directly for students is not in the purview of the city, but looking at those pathways and trying to make sure that there's sidewalks or additional trails available for students that might be walking or taking their bike, that is something that the city, particularly more the engineering department, works with the schools on.
Is there any way to like get updated on that as far as like the trails and how that process is going?
That might be possibly a presentation that I can ask the engineering department to make to the commission. So if there's a second on that, I can request that.
I'll second.
Very good.
I also know that Menifee Complete Streets is ongoing, and we're still meeting, and we can give you information if you'd like to attend the meeting. And they're looking specifically at pedestrian walking trails, sidewalks, as well as bike lanes, and making everything safer in the city. So,
if I may, a suggestion, would it maybe be more appropriate, since Commissioner Ackerman participates in the Complete Streets, to have a specific presentation and update on the Complete Streets plan? Would that?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, sounds great.
A question. Didn't we look at safe routes to school when we completed our master plan for trails?
Yes.
Isn't that one of the elements?
That is one of the ongoing things we look at, and even with our alternative transportation program. So we kind of layer all those things together, our trails, alternative transportation, complete streets, to seek out safe routes to school grants specifically.
So it is possible that the route Commissioner's talking about is in the master plan?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Commissioner Faust.
Thank you. A lot of the old future agenda requests were removed with the completion of the Parks Master Plan. I'd like to make a motion that we put back, though, on a future agenda request, specifically the Heritage Park or in the city of Menifee, just so that gets some traction.
Second?
I'll second it.
Anything else, commissioners?
So if I can maybe wrap up, because we talked about several subjects. So I have 3 future agenda items. One is to provide an update about online access, field and rental facility availability. I think if I captured that, Commissioner Peterson. Update on Complete Streets program, okay, and then update on Heritage Park. Got it.
Okay. And with that, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Meeting is adjourned at 6:49. Thank you, everybody.